Are we filming yet? Good, because I've got something to say before we start filming to all of you. All you guys need to step it up if you're working for me. Y'all knew who I am, right? Good, because I don't care if we've been filming 8, 12, 15, 24 hours. I need you guys to work harder. We don't need to be eating on the job. Yes, that's for our 24-hour days, okay? Because you know what? You're all fat. You're fat, obese. All of you guys need to lose weight right now if you want to keep your job, okay? Oh, we are filming? Hi, welcome back to the show. Has anyone told you to love your body today? Just flop out your gut right now and give yourself a nice warm squeeze on that tummy. Hello, welcome back. Yes, I know that my microphone is not plugged in. Some of you guys pointed it out before and you must have missed when I told you. It actually is plugged in. If you look a little bit closer, let me know if you can see it. But welcome everyone to I'm a Millennial who doesn't keep up with pop culture drama that much. You know, I thought Ariana Grande was American soft-spoken, likes to be carried miniature sweetheart, but apparently she is a notorious homewrecker. Doja Cat hates her fans apparently and is very irritated that they call themselves kitties, even though she was the one that asked them to call themselves kitties. So still trying to understand that one. And of course, my all-time favorite, talked about many times on this channel, Miss Lizzo herself, likes to catch bananas outside of dancers' hoo-has and then try and force her other dancers to also do that and eat the banana.
Allegedly, of course.
So last week we read an 8-page spread of Lizzo and the multiple long list of allegations. The link to that video is right below if you need to catch up. And if you didn't do your homework, to everyone else who did do their homework today, we are going to look at the 3 dancers who decided to come out, speak out against the body positive queen, Ariel, Noelle, and Crystal. Because these ladies are not backing down in an interview among many that they already did, but we are gonna focus on the news interview along with someone else that has spoken out about Lizzo. Actually, a few people have been speaking out about Lizzo, but we're gonna focus on one that is very important. And drum roll please, we're also going to be speaking about the people that I have spoken about in the past in the fat acceptance community and how they are taking the news that their body positive leader is not too body positive. We've got a jam-packed episode today. Lizzo, are you ready? I think she is. Not, but that's okay because we're gonna keep going. But the question is, are you ready? No, you're not if you are at least not subscribed. If you are subscribed, that one is for you. But if you are not, can you just hit that tap, that caress and kiss that subscribe button, por favor. I'm trying to get to 700,000 subscribers and we are almost at 680. Woo! If I make it more exciting, maybe you will hit the subscribe button. Okay, let's hop into that interview. So during the interview, the girls were asked, was there any specific instances that you can just think of, you know, some kind of tiny instances that was very just disrespectful, that kind of started this whole thing. And Ariana was like, we got 10 that I can just think of from the top of my head.
Working with Lizzo, was there a specific moment or incident where you felt like this was crossing the line and it's actually more of a toxic working environment?
I can probably count at least 10 just right off the bat.
And this is quite horrendous. This wasn't a one-time, you know, sprint to the media type thing that some people are saying. This, according to these women, the abusive nature was very slow and gradually got worse, allegedly, which is usually how it works, at least in my experience. Like I said, in the first video, she'd be like inviting the dancers out to very X-rated type events.
I mean, just inviting us to sexually explicit things a lot of times without our knowledge of knowing that there was gonna be nudity there.
And Lizzo was very corporate-esque, as in, you know, she's kind of part of a business. And they say, oh, you know, when you're in corporate and you're one of the peons, the people on the bottom, they always say, we're family, and family helps us out. Hey, by the way, can you pick up this extra shift or do this extra thing that you don't get paid for? Because, you know, we're family. And I need you to do this for me, your boss. But also don't think of me like a boss. Think of me as your mom, boss. I got this all the time working at LA Fitness until I finally said, no, I don't get paid to do that. And honey, you should have seen my manager's face. And then she slowly changed, stopped being so nice, started saying tiny little comments to me.
And you know, at first,
small things would happen, and I was like, oh, maybe it's a miscommunication between her and her management. You know, I'm trying to always give the benefit of the doubt at the beginning.
Maybe it's a personality thing.
Yeah.
Taking clients away from my schedule, slowly dwindling me out where I had no clients, and then she fired me and said, you're not working hard enough. Bye-bye. And Ariana was saying how Lizzo was always using the sisterhood and the whole family type words.
You know, telling us that we need to be a family and, you know, invite us to be sister-like, have a sisterhood.
And they noticed if they didn't, you know, do the things that Lizzo wanted them to do, as in, you know, the banana catching from the vagina, the other sexual type things, touching butt cheeks or boobs of certain dancers as she like chanted. But like I said, I have friends that hang out with certain celebrities and they do some odd things. So if this is true, I am not surprised, because that's all I can say about that. So from the lawsuit, I was reading about Lizzo's management team is all made up of what? White men. Burn in hell. I'm sure some of you guys are saying, you hate white men? I am with one and have been with him for about, what, 11, 12 years now? No, I just find it very interesting that someone who's so anti-white male is literally being controlled by straight white men. That's very comical.
But then turn around and never give us the benefit of the doubt and believe the microaggressions being put forth towards her by management about us.
Personally, for me, if I was to have a manager and I'm in this Hollywood field, management team, I personally would want women or a gay man. Some of you might be upset about that. That's perfectly fine. I've met people in this industry. I would rather have someone that could relate to me rather than the men in this industry, because they seem to be even worse than the women in this industry. Don't know why, just my personal experience. I will pick the lesser of evils. Not that the women are all that better, but especially if it was my whole brand for women empowerment, putting women in power, and the management team seems to have more power than Lizzo. Wouldn't you want to stick to your brand? But instead, she's got just what? I don't know, a couple of white guys managing her. That's her whole brand. It reminds me of the Barbie movie, spoilers from this time point to this time point or timestamp, when Barbie finds Mattel in the real world and she's like, where's your CEOs, your CFO, blah, 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 because in Barbie land, all the women have the high powered jobs. And when she goes to the area of the CEOs and CFOs and all the people in power, they are just a bunch of men in a pink room. That's Lizzo's management team, honey. Anything to say? They ain't got nothing to say. So apparently these men who have power over Lizzo and many of the dance team and the show would treat all the fat black girls differently than the fat white girls, which once again, Lizzo's whole brand is fighting against racism, misogyny, and empowering women of color. So you're probably saying, why didn't these women just leave? Everyone has choices to leave. You know what I saw some of you guys saying in my comment section of the Jonah Hill, Sarah, whatever situation. Well, Ariana and Crystal, this was their first job, honey. This was their first dance thing.
Well, I personally and Crystal are very new to the industry. Noelle has been in the industry for a while, but this is me and Crystal's first job. So for a long time, in my time in the camp, I just chalk this up to, you know, this is probably just industry standard, or like, even if it's not, you know, it can't be that bad. You know, the industry is crazy. I made a lot of excuses for Lizzo.
Some people don't know if that kind of behavior is normal or not. Let me give you a little example. It's like when you first get into a relationship with a man or woman that you have been admiring from afar, and then you finally talk to them, and then you finally be together. They are now yours is now them, and it's this ultimate fantasy, finally, just like a Disney movie. And then you find that that fantasy is shattered, and that person that you had this whole story formed about is actually very rude, controlling, vile, and a butt face. But then you're also like, maybe this is just how relationships should be. And then your friend, Noelle in this situation, the one that has been in the dance industry forever, says, no, this is not what it's supposed to be. And it gives you that motivation to book it on out of there.
Me personally, I've been dancing professionally for about 7 years now, so I have past experience. I've worked with a lot of these people that Lizzo looks up to herself, like Beyonce, Janet Jackson, and so on. So I know what is right and what is wrong in a work setting and the norms for this industry.
So can we just get to that threat, the alleged threat from Lizzo, the confrontation of Lizzo trying to fight her when she balled up the fist? I just need to see her explain it because I only read it.
It was our last meeting. We were under the impression that it was a fitting. We show up shortly after. We're then met by security and her management team, and they're like, this is actually not a fitting, this is a meeting with Lizzo, an ambush meeting.
I would be so upset. I like to prepare, okay? I like to play out every situation in my mind and think of what I'm gonna say to every single situation. I don't wanna stand there like an idiot. I hate the ambush type thing. I have anxiety, I'm a millennial.
And then we're told to hand over our phones. They're like, you need to confiscate your phone.
So I'm not sure if phone confiscation-ism is a normal thing in like work settings type places, but to all the like OnlyFans models I've talked to, the gay men that I've talked to that are in these high profile circles where these people are making millions of dollars, or these really rich celebrities where they have a very public image that they need to keep up to make sure that their fan base stays very happy, especially those straight religious like conservative type men who are hooking up with very young gay men. Phone confiscation is very normal, obviously. But for a job, honestly, if someone I work for is having me sign an NDA or they have to take my phone before a meeting, that's time to run. Anywho, Lizzo's henchman snags the phone and then Lizzo enters the room and fires Crystal and Ariana.
In front of everyone.
And that was pretty much it for Noelle. She was like, I'm out, and she ended up quitting.
I was like, I can't stand for this anymore, and I have to say something. Yeah. So in coming forward and saying that, she then got physical.
And you know, people like power, especially people with money, they have to be the ones to be on the power trip. They want to be the ones that fire you.
She basically raised up her fists. She was like balling her knuckles, and she's like, you're so effing lucky.
I need you guys to close your eyes right now. Imagine Lizzo. You know, she's a big woman, big mama Lizzo. And I know many of you guys think that all obese people are not fit. Lizzo's a big woman, but she's very fit. She's flexible. She's strong. I feel like she's even fast. Now imagine her, keep your eyes closed, don't open them. Imagine her standing over you, angry, glaring face. Open your eyes right now. This face right here. Frightening, right? Lizzo's body and athletic ability reminds me of Big Mom.
I could really go for a nice snack right about now.
Large and in charge.
Your time is up. What's it gonna be?
Very frightening. Another woman named Sophia Nahili Allison was supposed to be the director to Lizzo's, documentary. And shortly into the project, she dipped the fuck out. Apparently because Lizzo's attitude was not the best attitude. So she made a public statement sharing this because validating other Black women's experiences is deeply important to me. I usually do not comment on anything pop culture related, but in 2019, I traveled a bit with Lizzo to be the director of her documentary. I walked away after about 2 weeks. I was treated with such disrespect by her. I witnessed how arrogant, self-centered, and unkind she is. I was not protected and was thrown into a shitty situation with little support. My spirit said to run as fast as you can, and I'm so grateful I trusted my gut. I felt gaslit and was deeply hurt, but I've healed. Reading these reports made me realize how dangerous of a situation it was. This kind of abuse of power happens far too often. Much love and support to the dancers. To be clear, since I've spoken out, I've had others privately share their very similar experiences, and I have also been affirmed by people who witnessed what I went through. Lizzo creates an extremely toxic and hostile work environment and undermines the work, labor, and authority of other Black, brown women in the process. Notice how the documentary ended up being directed by a cis white man. That's actually
kind of interesting.
She is a narcissistic bully and has built her brand off of lies. I was excited to support and protect a Black woman through the documentary process, but quickly learned her image and message was a curated facade. I stand with the dancers and anyone who has had similar experiences working with her and her team. These working conditions are not okay. So she sold. She believes them. She is on their side. I'm someone that believes them, but I also like to keep in mind that, they could be lying, right? Like they could be lying. I do think it's interesting that people are like, no, it's definitely true, when I feel like it's true, but I like to keep in mind that maybe it's not. I don't know if they would do all of this just to, a literal lawsuit just to lose. Because Lizzo's I mean, if you think about it, Lizzo, she's rich. She's way richer than these 3 dancers put together. She can probably find a great lawyer, everything, and I would be scared for my life, to be completely honest. So you know who else has spoken out? Underhandedly kind of spoken out?
Beyonce.
So apparently she dropped Lizzo by taking her name out of a song during a live performance. Originally, she would sing, you know, she would usually name off a few artists that she liked, like Cardi B, Rihanna, but instead of saying Lizzo like she normally does, she says Erykah Badu twice. Now, some say that has something to do with Erykah Badu calling out Beyonce earlier last week because Erykah Badu thinks that Beyonce copied her hat. We have a performance cancellation going on. Made in America 2023 by Jay-Z featuring Lizzo and SZA was canceled, in quotes, due to a severe circumstances outside of production control, which was the official statement. According to the Daily Mail, Lizzo has lost over 220,000 followers and the trend is continuing as the day goes by. And 6 more dancers have came out with lawyers claiming the same experiences the original 3 has claimed. But what are all the fat acceptance women saying about all of this? Because this is a lot. As we know, Lizzo is the queen of body positivity. Obese women love her, makes them feel, you know, seen, and everyone likes some good relatability. You know, they finally had someone that looks like them and didn't have to lose weight to be happy and did this at basketball games. Or did this while playing a flute. Or this on TikTok. Or doesn't wear deodorant.
Lizzo's update comes after a slew of celebrities weighed in about personal hygiene.
That's fine, natural girly, I'm all for it. Anyway, so I was wondering, what has all the fat acceptance, like body positive activists that I have talked about in the past said about this? Because many of them would normally jump on this, you know, sexual assault allegations, racism allegations, forced religion, bananas coming out of the vagina and making your dancers eat it or catch it or something? If this was anyone else, I feel like there would be video after video after video. So I started doing my research. And by that I mean sitting on the couch and typing in names into TikTok and Instagram. So Virgie Tovar, the woman that we've talked about before who had a problem with a woman asking for a smaller slice of cake and calling that fat phobic, has absolutely been silent on the matter. Tess Holliday, usually a very big avid speaker about these things. I mean, she spoke at, I don't know, some council meeting about weight discrimination, especially for Black women. So this would fit right up her alley since she's so educated and well-versed on it.
Well, I don't think that there's any surprise that we have been affected in the plus size modeling industry and as she was sharing overall by deep issues that are rooted in racism.
She constantly says that she's an ally for Black women, and I mean, in this case, there's 3 of them, but you know, that's probably because she's too focused on her workshop where she teaches you about 3 poses and gives you a hug for $1,000.
When I set out to do my self-love workshop, I had no idea that I was actually the one that needed it the most.
So that's fine, you get that back, girl. Splotchmaker also came to mind, and she actually made 2 posts with the caption, hashtag rumors, hashtag Lizzo, hashtag big girls, hashtag green screen video. And her face is just over a clip of the song that many people are replaying. And then the second post titled, like this is getting real, in reference to Beyonce saying Erykah Badu's name twice instead of Lizzo. And that was it.
Psych!
I actually missed one and had to input it back into this video. And you guys know how it worked? Third one is the charm. I'm sure she is ripping her apart. You know, the way she did that man minding his own business when he posted his own personal before and after pictures that he lost weight and she flipped out, right? She's gonna kill it. Hit it, Splotchmaker.
Okay, everyone, listen up. Listen up. Stop scrolling. Okay? We are not going to be fat phobic to Lizzo.
Oh, so she's just taking the fat feminist approach.
Y'all are bad people. This is why I'm not engaging in any discourse about Lizzo, because y'all are just fat phobic.
That's right, that's our favorite fat fab feminist who does not like me at all. But she refused to speak on it because people are gonna be fat phobic.
Fat phobia is the least of Miss Lizzo's worries.
Repeat after me, we are not going to be fat phobic to Lizzo.
I'll make absolutely no promises, and I will sign no contracts, because I just think it's funny how these women all flipped out on me, made their little TikToks, sent their armies while they sat on the couch and typed things on my profiles, made fun of my forehead and called me a man because of my muscles. But then, for some reason, when it comes to Lizzo, they can't even say anything because of
Fat phobia?
the charges are pretty thick. Not one can just hold Lizzo accountable or say something, you all literally say absolutely nothing, or you just play a video behind you and do this. Sad. But that about does it, because Lizzo and the other women from the fat acceptance community constantly
Keep proving me right.
and I'm all about being right. But I will say if I'm ever wrong. But today I'm not. So remember, kids, not everything is as it seems. Just because you watch someone every day on TikTok shake their butt around screaming, love yourself and love your guts while playing a flute doesn't mean you actually know them. They could be the complete opposite of what they portray online. Except for me, I'm completely real and full of love. You have a great day, you beautiful people. Is the camera off? Well, are you ready, Butters? The same thing we do every night, you idiots. Break into the Hot Cheetos factory and steal the Hot Cheetos secret recipe and then give the whole world heartburn! And they'll all become fat!
Wake up, honey, I made you breakfast. Fresh coffee and bagels too. A new day is waiting for us. We got lots of fun stuff to do. Let's go to the zoo and feed the monkeys. I can lend them your baseball cap. Let's make the day a barrel of fun. Growing up is just a trap.